exactly then?
I was on my motorcycle. COVID was here. I got back on a plane with an expired Pennsylvania ID from being injured and healing, and I was still kind of healing, but I had to get out of there because of COVID. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I wanted to come back down here. So I got what's called in Pennsylvania a camera card, which lets you do everything. It lets you know that your expired ID is still good. You just need a picture now. They don't recognize that here in Florida, so I ended up having to move on a boat down here. I was only supposed to stay a couple weeks, so I found a place, and I ended up having to buy a boat because I didn't have an ID at the time and couldn't get one because of COVID. I couldn't get my motorcycle registered. I couldn't get my license since 1995 redone. I could have been done right then and there, and I just had to move the bike, and I had to get it down here, else I was going to lose the bike. So I got pulled over for supposedly not having a plate on the bike, but I put a fake plate on it instead of riding with no plate. Hopefully I get it down here. The officer said I was hiding the fake plate, and that's why he pulled me over. He was never behind me. It was just a young kid. I don't know why, but he just wanted to fuck with me, and he did.
Well, hold on, just to back up a moment. You were using a fake plate, though.
Yes, why would I try to hide it? That wouldn't even make any sense.
I'm sorry, but were you using a fake plate?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I used a fake plate so I wouldn't get pulled over. I was trying to get my license back, but I needed to get that bike moved down here.
Yeah, but then you were pulled over for having the fake plate?
No, he said it. He pulled me over for saying I didn't have a plate on at all.
Oh, okay.
And then his story changed to, oh, he was hiding it.
But you didn't have a plate on.
I did have a plate on, yes. And he's trying to say I didn't have a plate. He didn't see a plate.
Right, you didn't have a legitimate plate on, correct?
No.
Okay, so he pulled you over because you didn't have a legitimate plate, correct?
Yes. No, he pulled me over because I didn't have a plate, he said.
Right, because you didn't have a plate. I'm not quite following.
He's trying to say I didn't have a plate. He couldn't see it, and when I was hiding it, I was flipped it upwards. He was never behind me. The bike was already parked. I was already in the parking lot. He never pulled me over. I was already off the bike when he came on side of me. And he couldn't even see the back of the bike.
Okay, so you came and parked in the parking lot.
Yeah.
This police officer.
Never seen a cop behind me, and 3 minutes later, after I'm already out the bike, a cop pulls up on the side of me, never on the back of me. The bike was pointing towards the water, the back of it was. I was ready to put the cover on it just so I could store it there until I got my license.
Okay. Alright, so then what happened?
You want to search me, do all this and that. He gets lippy, finds a little bit of pot on me, starts calling me a drug addict. I start calling him a bunch of names also. He's calling names back. And then he calls a buddy up, tries to give me a DUI. Passed that with flying colors. They finally dropped the DUI, threw it. But it was a mess. What they try to do here is crazy. Try to pin DUIs on people, put a handcuff key in my wallet, had another $5,000 in my bond and another felony. After they beat me up, then they find the handcuff key in my wallet. They already had my wallet in their possession for 2 or 3 hours at this point.
Okay, so I just need to back you up because I kind of skipped over the assault part. So.
Sorry. I'm just a little amped up when stuff like this happens. I'm just reliving it. Sorry.
Okay, so what happened with the assault? What led to the assault, and then what happened with the assault exactly?
Well, when they called the DUI officer, I passed with flying colors, and he says he's going to charge me with DUI. I start calling him a nigger just to piss him off, because at that point, I don't even care. You're trying to give me a DUI, and I jumped through all your hoops, and I did everything you said on video. And it shows that I passed all his tests for a DUI for weed. They were just trying to get back at me. That's all it was. And then after I call him nigger, another sergeant comes over that has nothing to do with the case. Absolutely. He ain't a sergeant. Anybody on this case of the traffic stop to the DUI comes over and starts calling me names for about 45 minutes. I start calling him names back. And him and his little buddy is just hanging out there for 45 minutes talking shit to me. I'm aggravating the situation. So finally I said too many things he didn't like about himself, which are probably true. And he said, oh, you're in double cuffs? Because I told him, take me out these cuffs. I'll kick your fat ass all the way down the street. He didn't like that. So he said, oh, you're in double cuffs. So he sees me in double cuffs. He takes me out, takes me double cuffs off, slams his elbow into me, pulls me out the car, takes me out the cuffs, and then jacks my arm behind my head over the Tahoe where it pops out. I pass out from the pain. I wake up to them with a knee on my face, grinding my face into the pavement, and I'm hog-tied, and they're trying to pull my arm out of my socket even more. Then one cop comes over, there's about 7 or 8 of them probably, come over, oh, look what I found in his wallet, a handcuff key, after I've been in custody for a couple hours. Like, they haven't gone through that wallet a couple times already.
Okay. What is this Tahoe that you're referencing now?
Their police vehicle.
Okay, gotcha. So where was it that you were located when you were pulled from the vehicle? You were located in a different police vehicle?
They took me to do the DUI back at Clearwater Police Station.
Okay, so you were charged with DUI and taken to the Clearwater Police Station, at which point...
I was taken to Clearwater Police Station to do the test for a DUI. And that's when they charged me with DUI for weed. I was pulled over on the motorcycle, found them with a car on me. They took me to Clearwater Police Station for their DUI officer to do the test. I did the test with flying colors. I know I get hurt. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I was pulled over. I did the motorcycle was parked. That's where he pulled me over. That's what I'm saying. That's the incident where he turned the lights on. I was sideways on there. I consider that being pulled over, right? He turned the lights on. Okay, so I get pulled over. He gets mouthy, calls me a drug addict for weed. I didn't like it. He's young, you know, trying to show his balls the whole time. And I just didn't let him have it. He didn't like it, called his buddy up for a DUI. So then he drove me there. I jumped through all their hoops. I was not high. And I called him a nigger a couple times. Another sergeant comes over when I'm in the back of the police car or taking me away. And saying I'm in double cuffs. And then he pulled me out the car. Took me out the handcuffs. Jacked my arm behind my head. And that's the last thing I remember until I passed out.
Okay, so after you woke up, you found yourself to be hogtied, you found the knee in your face, and they confronted you with this claim that a handcuff key had been found in your wallet.
Yes.
Been in their possession. And what happened from there?
They took me to jail. I told the cops that I wanted to see a doctor. They wouldn't let me see a doctor. They put me in jail. I refused to do anything until I seen some medical help because I knew I was pretty messed up. They wouldn't do it. They threw me in the hole. I called my lawyer. He bonded me out by himself. He just went and talked to the bail bond and said he'll pay you and everything. And then after this, I couldn't work, so I couldn't even afford the bond.
Okay. At that point, was there succeeding court dates in the two appeared on? Was that the end of the encounter?
Yeah, and then a friend at the time, his boat came loose and was slammed into a dock over here. I was helping him out in the morning. Police want ID. I said, I didn't commit a crime. I don't need to give you an ID. For 2 hours, I'm in their face, and finally I get to land. They had another cop stop me. He said, we need an ID. Then they said the other officer recognized me from stealing a T-shirt from Brown Boxer. There was a bar over here, which is absolutely absurd and ridiculous, just to give him probable cause. So I still wouldn't give him my ID. So then I'm out on bond from that thing over there. So then they said, well, we're not going to take you to jail because they knew I didn't do it. So I didn't get charged with that, but I got charged with obstruction. Okay? Like I was going to fight all this and bring it out in court. But when I went to court for the first thing, I tried doing something with the judge, which is really a precedented case, which was I asked for a public... I said, I don't want a public defender. I want to defend myself, and I want access to the law library, which they can't do because of COVID, and it would time bar them, actually. She knew that, so she stuck me in jail for this bullshit over here.
Okay, what are you referring to? You were stuck in jail for what?
They took my bond away for not failure to give me my ID. The obstruction they charged me with, and they couldn't even do that. I have a Fourth Amendment right.
Okay.
I don't trust these cops. I don't want to give them my name because they'd beat me up. Why do I have to give them my name? So they could retaliate even more somehow? Then they'd want to charge you obstruction because of that and make up fake shit. So that's what I got my bond pulled for. And so I had, instead of fighting that case, and I could have beat it, they gave me 4 months for something I only received like a couple hours bond for before, to taking away my bond because I wanted to represent myself.
Okay.
All Clearwater, even the judges are covering this up.
Okay. What's the address we can be reached?
I live on a boat right now, but my proper address right now is my mailing address is in St. Pete.
Okay. And what's that?
Let me see, 3738. No, let me think. 6367 30th Street North. 33702, I want to say.
33702. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. You know the names of the officers involved in the traffic stop?
No, I don't. I probably have it somewhere floating around on my boat, but I'm pretty sure that'd be easy to find. I don't have a case number or nothing on it. It's been a year and a half, and I was just gonna let it go until this happened, until they're whitewashing this, and I can't let this happen because I can't work again. I can't go this long without working, without some type of payout.
Okay. How many officers in total were there at the traffic stop?
There was 2 originally, then the DUI officer showed up, then he took me there, then it was the other 2, so 4, 5, so there was 5 of them at the end total there to watch me get beat up and help with it.
Okay. Alright, Mr. Yard. I believe that's all the information I need at this point then.
What about this the other case?
For review. As far as what you're currently encountering with this refusal to release body cam footage, I don't have any direction for that other than you speak with an attorney to better assist you with that process.
What about the entire case, though?
Safe Bar Association.
They're not pressing charges. Where do I go there from there?
It'll be at the discretion whether or not to pursue charges against anyone with regards to that.
They have physical evidence watching him touch me, push me, and, you know, witnesses that he picked me up and body slammed me, and I've got 3 broken ribs, herniated stomach, and a broken elbow.
Okay.
And he's not in jail. I don't understand this. And there's evidence. They know they have evidence. They lied to me and told me to even put him in jail, and they didn't. That's on body camera. That they say, oh, we're going to get him right now.
Alright, sir. I'll make a note of that, but at this point, my only direction for you is that you speak with an attorney to better assist you with it. Wish anything else, still, we'll reach out to you. I do appreciate you giving us a call and relaying the information.
So you guys can't investigate. How do I get the FBI to investigate on this specific crime also? Hello?
Okay, we'll determine necessary, then we'll reach out to you to advise you of anything that needs to be advised of. So any documentation you have, please preserve that. We may be able to request it from you if needed.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, I don't have any additional advisement at this point.
Okay, thank you.